Okay, here we go. 2:15 Monday afternoon after a volatile Friday. Today is October the 10th. This is the daily scan from breakpointtrading.net, and I am not a financial advisor. So this is for educational purposes only. Let's go take a look and see what happened today. As I mentioned on Friday, whenever we get a huge sell-off like we did, we likely will oftentimes get a reaction rally, especially if it has over the weekend to think about things and some of the data points change, which they did over the weekend. So calm down a little bit, but we have not recovered everything yet. So as you can see, there's kind of a V bottom. It didn't come all the way back yet, but it is consolidating right there. So that typically implies that it may, the target may be the same distance from the bottom right here. So from here to here is the distance where we should go up, which will be right back pretty much at the highs. But we're not there yet. So as you can see, market recovered at least half of its gains from Friday. Technology is up, discretionary is up, but communications is down. And on the defensive side, staples came down, utilities are flat, and real estate is pretty much flat. Cyclicals, financials are down, healthcare came down, industrials down, materials pretty much sideways, and energy is flat from Friday as well. And the rotation, which is the important part, growth versus value, you can see was moving up right at the end of last week until Friday, came down dramatically, bounced a little bit in the morning, but now it's pretty much flat right now. So it's kind of the same thing with discretionary versus staples. It's still trying to move up. But all of these things tell you whether we are back to a risk-on environment. Technology moved up this morning, but now just going sideways, same as semis and transports. So it looks to me like, yes, we did recover after Friday's big sell-off, but not nearly what we lost. And the market is pretty much treading water right now. It's not adding any more to technology, although right now it has some green bars, so it might be heading back up by the end of the day. We shall see. The breadth, big, huge crash in breadth. Stocks above the 20, 50, and 200 came down dramatically Friday. Bounced back a little bit today, but not very much. Bullish percent index is way down there as well. And you can see the S&P is sitting right above the 21-day moving average, which is a very key level. For the Russell 2000 small and mid caps, same kind of thing, big sell-off, bounce back in the morning, and now trying to start to make a little bit of headway in the afternoon. We've got about a little less than 2 hours left until the close. So Russell 2000 actually looks like the better area right now, so it's outperforming the S&P. And if we look at breadth for mid caps, same kind of thing. Big, except for it's a big long downward trend on this. So the breadth for this has been deteriorating for quite a while, and they're all below the zero line. Even the 200 is below the zero line. So it's not too convincing just yet. Here's the small caps, look the same, and the NASDAQ 100, advancers minus decliners, so there's more advancers, that's good. And there's more positive volume than negative volume, but not really significantly so. And the VIX now is definitely rolling over and heading down. Right now it's at 1862. So it's below 20, which is a key level. If we look at the VIX over here, and we'll actually be able to see that. There's the big gap up for the VIX on Friday, pulled back, but it's still really elevated. So, I don't think the market is convinced that we're going to continue to go higher now. In fact, it might be saying that this is a good chance after all the selling that happened over the weekend or on Friday. This is a good chance to maybe move out of some things or take profits and just move to the sidelines for now. As I said, it is sitting right at the 21-day moving average. That's a very key level. Put call index continues to move up. 10-year is basically doing nothing today. So the 10-year is not really telling us much. If we look at Let me find a good gold chart in here. I know what I'll use. I'll go to the market bias page and look at the gold chart over here. Gold was moving up on Friday and actually gapped higher today. So gold is, so this is moving to safety. Gold, again, I think might be telling us that this little rally today might not hold, or we're not going to get back and recover the highs that we had on Friday. And I talked about this Friday and also over the weekend. So let's take a look at the leaders and see what they're doing, see if they can recover their highs. There's Google, definitely not. In fact, even though it came back up to the 21, it's not really that impressive. Here's Amazon, definitely not recovering back to its highs. Here's Apple, same thing, just right back to the 21. Amazon is still below it. Apple's back to the 21. Here's Meta, still looking very weak. All the moving averages heading down. So that's not recovering its previous high. Here's Microsoft, same thing. It's actually below the 21 and above the 50 right now. NVIDIA also not making it back to high. So this is going to be a very critical week. This is options expiration week on Friday. And in general, the market may tend to go lower because market makers won't have to pay out all those call premiums on Friday. So keep that in mind as well. But we want to see if these leaders can recover back to their previous highs. And so far, none of these have. Tesla has not, trying to go back up there right now, but does have a green bar today. And Netflix, not back to the highs. Broadcom has not made it back. Costco has just been in a downtrend for a while. Palantir also not making it back. In fact, the highs it made here are still lower than its previous high back here. So Palantir is also still looking weak. Arista Networks actually giving back. Even on Friday, it actually was fairly strong, but now it's giving everything back. Even more than Friday. So that one doesn't look good. Lilly, same thing, heading down. So none of these are recovering back to their highs. That is not a good sign for the market. We'll have to see what happens the rest of the week. But today, reaction rally, probably a dead cat bounce. In fact, I should have put a picture of a dead cat bounce. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. We'll see how far this bounce takes us. But right now, it's not too impressive. If we go back here to the market bias chart and let's look at the S&P. These are updated with the flip line is basically right at the positive expected move. So price is below the flip line right now, which implies that we could get dramatic moves one way or the other. And if it continues to go down, then it could be very dramatic to the downside. All right, there's the S&P. Let's look at the NASDAQ 100. It is above the flip line, which is down here. So that one is a little bit higher. And Russell 2000 is below the flip line right now. So two out of the three look negative, and then we'll look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin basically, and I said this last week, that's the thing I would be watching Sunday night. Bitcoin had a big white candle, so I knew that the market was probably going to bounce today. Now it's got a spinning top. That's indecision. So it's tried to go higher, didn't really do that well, hasn't moved much in its range today. And if we maintain the spinning top, that is indecision. So I am not too convinced with this rally just yet. We'll see how it goes. All right, let's take a look at two scans. This is the stocks that have optionable weekly options. So they're very highly liquid. Here's an AI stock trying to come back again. You can see the candle on the left-hand side, and then on the right, you can see the color, which right now it's green. Costco, still down, has a hammer today, 3 green bars. CRM is in the bullish side. GE Vernova, one that I looked at last week, had a nice comeback today. So that one actually did recover very nicely today. Google is on the bullish side, just barely. Goldman Sachs coming up. Here's software, still not recovering back to the highs from Friday. Russell 2000, same thing. Cloudflare, here's ServiceNow. NVAX is on the positive one. Solar Edge, spinning top on that one. That's not looking that great. SoFi is on here. Tesla has a nice recovery today. So Tesla did make it back almost to Friday's open. So Tesla actually looks like the strongest of the group right now. Taiwan Semiconductor, let's try to make it back to the high. VST, Vistra Energy, and Workday. So let's take a look real quick at the bearish side of this and see what we get. Just 10 of them. Astera Labs, 2 red candles in a row sitting right on the 50-day. Cisco, continuing to head down. Humana, 3 red candles. Here's IBM, 4 red candles after. That's a perfect example of a shooting star right at the top of the run. It's a shooting star right there. And you can see what happens a lot of times after you get a shooting star like that. Just consistently selling off. WGS had been a big winner, but big downside today on that one. All right, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. What do you think about today's movement? Was it a dead cat bounce? Do you think it's going to continue? Did people buy the dip? Did you buy the dip today and get back into things? I'm not convinced that that it really is a dip yet, but we shall see, especially with options expiration week this week, and then also a very weak week and a historically weak time next week. Until the last week of October is when the rally usually starts into the end of the year. So keep that in mind. Let's look at the dollar real quick before I exit this. Dollar still trying to make a comeback, trying to move higher. But gold, again, is the big winner. So, all right, thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great night, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.